Okay, so we had the news roughly yesterday, sometime yesterday. It was about the cancellation, officially the cancellation of E3 2023. This comes after also E3 2022 was canceled for reasons around like all the COVID stuff and all that, and now it's just all the big players that would show up for E3, they've all backed out and they're all doing their own separate digital events. This was also announced mainly by IGN, so I guess we can jump in and actually check out the IGN posts that they did almost a year after it's announcing its return. The Entertainment Software Association announced today that its members that this year's E3, I can't read, has been canceled. IGN can confirm. So two sources have confirmed to IGN that the organization announced the cancellation via an email sent out to its members today. Email said that E3 remains a beloved event and brand. The 2023 version simply did not garner the sustained interest necessary to execute in a way that would showcase the size, strength, and impact of our industry. Again, too, it's like a lot of this stuff, with especially that being said, it's like all of the big players, namely, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, they've all backed out. They've all said that they would much rather just do their own thing, and we see that with all get out of here. We see that with all of the digital showcases and everything that they end up doing by showing their own products on their own platform of choice and all that, which again is kind of a nice thing because then it's just like, okay, well, they're not pressured. One, they're not pressured into making anything before they're ready to show it. Two, everybody still kind of shows up around June anyways, like the old E3 timeline. Everybody kind of just shows up and is like, hey, let's show some stuff off at the Summer Game Fest area, which also at the same time, so we with this here, we also have to talk about Summer Games Fest, but let's just read the rest of this. ESA concludes the email by reiterating its commitment to advocacy work. It does not mention undertaking the show again in future years. Following IGN's report, ESA issued the following publicly. This was a difficult decision because of all efforts we and our partners, State Farm, this was this difficult decision because of all the efforts we and our partners put together towards making this event happen, but we had to do what's right for the industry and what's right for E3. We appreciate and understand that interested companies wouldn't have playable demos ready and that resourcing challenges made being at E3 this summer an obstacle they couldn't overcome. For those who did commit to E3 2023, we're sorry we can't put on the showcase you deserve, expect from the event experience. So, yeah, that's one of the main things. Like I said, it's too bad that that we end up seeing this, but at the same time, it's kind of like we saw this coming over the last few years because it was just more and more where the companies just all the companies, whether it be a publishing or it be the main big platform holders, again, whether it was Ubisoft or Rockstar or Take Two, whether it was Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, everybody was just kind of backing out, just getting ready to do their own events. You have an Ubisoft Forward, you have a let's see here, what was it, 2K Showcase, I think it was called. We've had PlayStation State of Plays, PlayStation Showcase, Xbox press events. There's another double one that's coming up. It's like an Xbox Starfield event coming up. Again, it's like as a content creator, to me, it's just like, man, I just hated having everything. When I was just watching E3 growing up, it was awesome because it was like 2 or 3 days of Christmas time every year of like, oh my god, this just got announced. Oh my god, we're seeing Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto or new hardware, whatever the case may be. When you got into content creation, though, growing, it was just like, Oh no, it was like hell weekend, really. Especially if you were there on, at the LA Convention Center, running from hotels to NoClip has a great video on like the whole crazy weekend that E3 really was for content creators, which is like you're never always just in the LA Convention Center. You are running to hotel rooms that they set up, like demo stations in the hotel room. You have to go and find the hotel room and this and that, run back to the LA Convention Center, use your badge, backstage pass stuff to get through security, to get back into the convention center itself. And then hopefully, the monitors and the stations are all set up the correct way. They don't have, a ton of input latency or motion blur on the screens. We heard a lot about that stuff over the years. Or sometimes, like if it was like a Cyberpunk situation, you just sat down and watched a demo. You never even got hands on with it. So all these things, and now it's just like we went from G4 TV and E3 to now we have Twitch, where we're all doing content. Everybody's live streaming. Everybody has a reaction. The whole world blows up. The worst thing about this maybe is that we don't have the crowds all in one room anymore. But then again, you kind of get a sense of everything because, both social media and your live streaming platforms, and later on your YouTube videos and everything, everybody's going, at the same time there. Oh my God. So it's still a great feeling having everybody in the room and everybody just loses their minds when that first few frames of a trailer hits and you just know your new favorite thing is up there. So again, in one way, it's like E3 from a viewer standpoint, it was great. From a content creator standpoint, it was a lot of work, long hours, just speeding through everything. You take it in when it happens, you make a video, you get it up, the next press conference is happening. That's what E3 was for me. So Summer Games Fest is a little bit different because it's more or less a full month. And with that full month, you might have like a few different events happening in that full month's time span. It's funny though, because Jeff posted up this. He's like, here's a 15-year-old me at the first ever E3 back in 95. E3 meant so much to me. So many of you too. 4 years ago, I realized that E3 wasn't evolving as it needed to compete in a global digital world. So we started building what's next. See you at Summer Games Fest June 8th, which is great. And the whole Summer Games Fest event has, again, it's been awesome because now, instead of just watching the event from home, now you're actually getting more or less able to be a part of it, because all the digital events, usually there is a demo, usually there's a beta, usually there's something there where it's like, oh, now we're getting hands-on with this thing, early access or whatever, or sign up for this beta that you're going to be playing in the next couple of weeks. It's different events or announcements for events happen like that in Summer Games Fest a lot of times. So, or you have stealth drops like the Hi-Fi Rush thing and stuff like that. So, it's definitely, it's like one of those passing of the torches kind of moments of, it just ends up happening where, E3 was this. Now we have the Summer Games Fest thing. Again, we went from G4 TV and, in E3 over to Twitch and having Summer Games Fest with demos and betas. I think it's for the better. But yeah, it's just, it's one of those things. Nothing lasts forever. So, we are in a digital world now, and the good, crazy, awesome thing about all this announcement stuff now is that you too can do it working from home, doing content creation just like the rest of us. So, anyways, RIP E3. It was fun for the years when it was going really good. But yeah, it is kind of time to move on. So, I will be there for June for all the Summer Games Fest stuff and the that's actually one of the things also I wanted to say too was there is kind of a lineup that Jeff said in last year. He was in a Twitter Spaces call and he kind of said the thing of like, the handshakes kind of start at Game Awards where everybody comes together as a celebration of the industry. And then like something like GDC a lot of backroom deals start happening there, where there's a lot of tech talk happening. And then Summer Games Fest, there's again another whole set of like backdoor deals happening between different people, whoever, because it's different locations and different times of, when people are available and everything. So it's like every 6 months there seems to be something going on where it's like, oh, okay, now we can make a deal happen. And that seems to be a very good way forward, because we're getting a lot of crossovers. We're getting a lot of deals happening there. So, yeah. Anyways, like I said, like, subscribe, share, all the YouTube stuff definitely helps out. And again, I will be live whenever these events are happening. I try and be always live, twitch.tv/Warwolf, right when it's happening. And then I get the replay stuff up on the YouTube channel. So follow over there, subscribe over here, do the thing, and I will be there being ready to have a reaction and give some thoughts on everything. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, I will see you next time.